Dr. Birkin.
That doesn't look
I'll
good.
ask you one more time. Hold your fire!
Hello everybody, welcome, I'm Ziggy, you're watching TheSigiBot, and this is Vtuber Reacts to, a series where together we watch clips, compilations and all sorts of random stuff together. If you wanna me react to something, let me know in the comment section below. And now, let's enjoy the video. Let's go! Yo! Today, guys, I have something special for you. Something maybe different. Today we're gonna be reacting to Resident Evil lore. We all love Resident Evil. In Resident Evil we have so memorable characters. We have Leon, we have Jill, we have Chris, we got freaking Adam Wesker. But there is somebody who is so mysterious, so amazing, who deserves their own game. It is HUNK. And this is what we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch why is HUNK so powerful, the incredible story of HUNK, Resident Evil lore. As always, links are in the description box below. And without further ado, let's just check it out. Let's go.
It's HUNK time.
The mission objective takes priority over everything else.
Dude, HUNK is so crazy cool. And I wanna really have a freaking game of his own. Look at him go. Crack, press. Epic boy.
Deadly and lethal, with a tenacity for completing the mission by any means necessary, this fan-favorite character from Resident Evil certainly deserves some more recognition. This incredibly powerful agent of destruction was first introduced to us in Resident Evil 2 and has appeared sparsely throughout the franchise, including Resident Evil 4's Mercenaries mode. Although his appearances are quite limited, that doesn't diminish his lasting impact on the series, as HUNK is a major player within the Resident Evil universe that has left an indelible mark on the franchise. From his earliest known origins to his latest sightings, join me as we take a closer look into what makes HUNK the Grim Reaper himself, Mr. Death. It's HUNK time.
It's HUNK time. Dun 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 dun. Damn, look at him go. Crazy.
What does HUNK mean? Is it an acronym for something? Well, no one knows as to how HUNK ended up getting his name, nor can I tell you much surrounding the character's upbringing, nor his real name. Of what information we do have brings us to the year 1996 on Rockfort Island, an island in the South Pacific taken over by the Umbrella Corporation to accommodate Umbrella's growing paramilitary.
Actually, I had this game.
Rockfort Island is also the setting of Resident
Evil Raccoon City, I believe it's called, where it's like
Island,
you play as Umbrella Corp. That's the little cutscene we seen with those 4 guys. You can play with them. It was not a great game, but HUNK was there as a mentor, I would say.
It was on this island that HUNK carried out a number of successful operations, in which he was often the only man left alive. The rigorous training he received while at the military training center shaped HUNK into a nearly unkillable machine of murder,
a game about
he was
HUNK,
usually
man.
the only man left
Like
standing,
freaking Metal Gear Solid style.
Grim Reaper, or simply Mr. Death.
No, just a game like this one. They just put a little mini game about it.
A team that would face incredible challenges 2 years later in
the Mercenaries.
The night of September 22nd, 1998 is where HUNK was first seen thrown into the spotlight, and the events that unfolded that night resulted in one of the worst catastrophes of mankind. These very events shaped what came to be Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 in Raccoon City. To better get the context behind HUNK and his legendary status, we need to first go over the events that transpired that eerie night in Umbrella HQ, in what is known as Operation Nest Wrecker. The
Nest
operation
tracker.
was a mission undertaken by HUNK's team as the first USS squad, part of Umbrella's
it's
elite
Birkins.
security force. The Alpha team was tasked with infiltrating Umbrella's nest and stealing the G-Virus from Dr. William Birkin. Why was the retrieval of the G-Virus necessary, you might ask? The G-Virus is the code name for Golgotha virus, and was a bioweapon developed by Umbrella USA to surpass the Tyrant virus, or simply known as T-Virus. Whereas the T-Virus causes more minor
spooky.
mutations to human hosts, like zombies and
He got
tyrants,
some
the G-Virus
great
causes
tea.
incredible mutations to the human body, often being able to mutate into
Amazing.
forms unrecognizable to their
Amazing.
initial human hosts. While the T-Virus was quite infertile, the G-Virus was highly fertile and could reproduce with ease. The T-Virus causes necrosis of the body as a side effect, of which refers to the death of body tissue due to illness, injury, and infection that can cause serious harm to one's skin, bones, and organs. The G-Virus, on the other hand, was considered one of the greatest threats to not only mankind, but the world if an outbreak were to happen of this virus. That's where Operation Nest Wrecker comes into play. The man behind the creation of the G-Virus was Dr. William Birkin, the lead scientist behind that strand of virus at Umbrella. See, Umbrella became highly suspicious of Dr. Birkin because the company believed that, even after having canceled the project, Dr. Birkin was still secretly developing the G-Virus. A correct suspicion indeed, because Dr. Birkin had continued the research of the G-Virus, defying orders from
Damn.
Umbrella
Okay,
HQ
it makes
for him to
actually
be
sense
removed
if
from the
it's
project.
this
To try to get
lifetime
away with
long
his research
work,
in secret,
he
Dr.
would
Birkin
continue
ordered
it.
his staff not to
I
respond to
would,
emails from Umbrella
not sure if I would
headquarters.
do the same
There
though,
were
but
some spies
still
that leaked some of the
probably
G-Virus
very
information to Umbrella HQ, which Birkin
unsettling
promptly dealt with by
be like, hey, you
executing
cannot
those
work on
disloyal
this
to Birkin's
project any further.
Umbrella spies within the US military quickly learned that Birkin was in talks with the military, offering to sell the G-Virus as a bioweapon. Umbrella HQ sent a direct order to Birkin, demanding
tried
he
to
report to
backstab them.
Umbrella
Oh,
within
no, no,
24
no, no.
hours. Of
Dangerous,
course,
man.
William Birkin never responded.
Messing with the big
Umbrella
companies
HQ
is
thus
dangerous.
prepared to
It
take
is
over the
dangerous.
G-Virus by
Never do that.
force.
Only if you're sure you can win.
It was at 11:45 p.m.
Yum.
on the night of September 22nd,
Oh,
1998,
holy
that
shit.
HUNK and his Alpha team infiltrated the lab with their orders to secure the G-Virus and to make sure that Dr. Birkin was alive. The clip you are about to see covers the perspective of Agent J. Martinez as the squad infiltrates Dr. Birkin's lab, with
Okay.
HUNK at his right. In this scene, HUNK is the only one talking, along with Dr. Birkin.
Let's check it out. From least scary to scariest. Doink.
Dr. Birkin, you'll come along with us quietly.
You think I didn't know you were coming? This is my life's work. I'm not handing over anything.
We have our orders, Dr. Birkin.
That doesn't look
I'll
good.
ask you one more time. Hold your fire!
Holy shit.
What the fuck were you thinking? Our orders were to bring him in alive.
Crazy.
We're in, sir. But we had a snafu. Target resisted. We had to take him out. That's correct, sir. Roger that. Just the samples, then.
Sample. Is he still attacked? Wouldn't they get broken by the fall of the ground?
William Birkin clearly resisted the orders of his force, and upon drawing his handgun, the doctor was quickly shot down by J. Martinez
Crazy.
and was scolded by HUNK, as the goal was to secure the virus with Birkin alive. Regardless, the case containing the virus was unscathed and was taken by A. Kirkpatrick. Little did Alpha Team know upon leaving the scene that Birkin had barely managed to survive the attack, and with what little energy Dr. Birkin had left in him, injected a sample of the G-Virus into his bloodstream that Alpha Team failed to recover. It was this very moment that changed the course of the night in the few days left of Raccoon City as we knew it. William Birkin's wife, Annette Birkin, had suspected that William had injected himself with the G virus as a last-ditch effort to stay alive, but regrettingly did not pull the trigger on him when she had the chance. Instead, William, already partially mutated from the G virus's incredible growth, stalked the halls and eventually caught up to the members of Alpha Team and slaughtered every member of his squad. Every member other than HUNK, that is. In this footage here, we can see through the perspective of Kirkpatrick, the one that retrieved the briefcase containing the G virus, was fatally struck by William while in the sewers trying to escape. Unfortunately, Kirkpatrick was unable to close off the case to prevent the samples within from leaking out, contaminating the sewer rats, which then infected the drinking water of Raccoon City,
this is how it all happened.
The downfall of the entire city. There were some samples of the T virus in that same briefcase, and is responsible for the zombification of the majority of the residents of Raccoon City. And a dying Kirkpatrick even became infected with the T virus, as we are able to see him here, zombified in the sewers as we navigate Leon through the sewer system in the campaign of Resident Evil 2.
That's
but
crazy.
What happened to HUNK? Well, HUNK, the last man left alive of Alpha Team, was alive with a G sample in hand, surviving on his own for several days, as he finally became rescued in the early hours on September 30th after navigating the now completely contaminated sewers and Raccoon City Police Department. HUNK's mode, the fourth survivor, as part of Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 2 Remake, is a recount of HUNK as he navigated from the zombie-infested sewers through the Raccoon City Police Department. Even encountering the Tyrant. As a surprise to HUNK, Nighthawk, the pilot of the helicopter responsible for securing HUNK with the G virus, was awaiting HUNK just outside the RCPD. Upon asking him why he waited for him, Nighthawk sarcastically replied he, quote, wanted to meet the Grim Reaper.
Oh, so badass.
I wanted to meet the Grim Reaper.
HUNK then delivered the G virus to Umbrella after his survival of the Raccoon City incident. HUNK's The Fourth Survivor mode is intense and challenging, and is well worth playing to see just how badass a character HUNK is. Ever focused on the mission with an undying will to see every mission through to completion, HUNK has very little invested in the survival of his comrades and only desires to see his survival and success of the mission at hand. We are able to relive this very moment of HUNK briefly in Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Resident Evil The Umbrella Chronicles, and Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City.
Operation Raccoon
Not
City,
much else
that
is
game
known
called.
about HUNK following the events of Raccoon City, other than he was positioned back at Rockford Island and was assigned a mission to transport a special container from Umbrella's transport terminal in the Antarctic back to the island. Having been denied knowledge of what exactly was in the crate that needed transport, HUNK made it clear that he and his crew would be unprepared to tackle such a dangerous mission and would cause serious problems. This spout was with the island's base commander, Alfred Ashford, a key figure and player in Resident Evil Code Veronica. Later on in 2003, after the demise of Umbrella, HUNK created the fighting style CQBZ, abbreviated Close Quarters Quarantine Battle Zone, which came with a variety of gear and firearms to handle incredible swarms of zombies.
Quarantine Battle Zone.
From this CQBZ fighting style, as shown in Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 4 Remake's Mercenaries mode, HUNK's savage neck-snapping ability with incredible prowess with submachine guns. Little else is known about this iconic warrior, as he is currently out there in the world,
information about him. We need hello game about him.
Perhaps we will see HUNK one day in a game of his own or featured more heavily in a future Resident Evil game. I don't know about you, but I'm itching for some more HUNK content in future Resident Evil installments. But what about you? Would you like to see more of the Grim Reaper? Are you enjoying playing as him in the Mercenaries and Resident Evil 4 Remake? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the compelling history about HUNK, consider hitting the like button if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you loved it. This is the second video of exploring Resident Evil 4 Remake's characters, and you can watch the first one here on your screen as we took a closer look at the tragic story of Luis Serra and his struggles to escape the demons of his past. Let me know in the comments what characters you like.
It was awesome. A big thank you to those who pointed out that the meaning behind HUNK's name is Human Unity Never Killed. Human Unit Never Killed. Oh, that was a fun video, guys. Check it out. Show them creators some love. Honestly, I do wanna get a HUNK game. I myself only watched the Let's Play of Resident Evil 2 Remake, and I watched somebody play the Fourth Survivor DLC. It was amazing. It was amazing. This dude is just slaying all the enemies with his fighting style. I agree. We need a video game about him. I don't know in what type though. I think something like freaking Resident Evil 4 in that style, but just HUNK. Just his adventure. Maybe you do a little bit of his story where we just find out how and what he did, what he learned, how he became the way he is, and then maybe some reason. It doesn't have to be like freaking going down. Just go, retrieve the sample, and go back. Just a loot shooter, not loot shooter, but go to point A, get the goal, go back, and that's all. That's all. Just a funny little shooting game. That's amazing. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you have any fun stuff for me to react to, let me know in the comment section below. And I will catch you on the next one. Have a good one. Bye bye. Ciao.